Okay, good morning, everybody. So I'm still reading from the book God Makes the Rivers to Flow, and so the idea is that we learn from others, we get some kind of wisdom from others, and then we work with that. So today I picked something from Mahatma Gandhi, and it's called "In the Midst of Darkness." I do dimly perceive that whilst everything around me is ever changing, ever dying, there is underlying all that change a living power that is changeless, that holds all together, that creates, dissolves, and recreates. That informing power or spirit is God. And since nothing else that I see merely through the senses can or will persist, He alone is. And is this power benevolent or malevolent? I see it as purely benevolent. For I can see that in the midst of death, life persists. In the midst of untruth, truth persists. In the midst of darkness, light persists. Hence, I gather that God is life, truth, light. He is love. He is the supreme good. Okay, so from this text, we take a few concepts that we then explore and work with. So one thing they talk about in this poem is create, dissolve, and recreate. So maybe on one side we work on create, and on the other side is on dissolve, and then in between could be recreate. So if you want to, you can play with those concepts, or you pick something else that works better for you. Okay, so find your seat, sitting up tall, and then start moving your feet, looking at the toes, looking at the heels, noticing how your feet are moving. And then bring your awareness to the sense of touch. So the soles of your feet, and notice how they are interacting with the earth. And then come to stillness. And then maybe bring your awareness to your breathing. And then notice the inhale, notice the exhale. And by simply observing your own breathing, you get a lot of information about yourself. So, what kind of breathing are you using right now? Is it long? Is it short? Is it deep? Is it shallow? And what information does that give you? So, notice the inhale, notice the exhale. And then, if you want to, now bring your awareness to your two sitting bones, symbolizing the two concepts that we are working with. So on one side, we are creating, and there's one part of you that's creating, and then there's another part of you that's dissolving. So create, dissolve, create, dissolve, and just knowing that we have these two different parts in us might be helpful. So things change by being created, and then it dissolves. Maybe thinking about a flower that first grows up, beautiful, and then it dissolves back into the soil, and then it comes and creates and dissolves like a circle, the circle of life. or circle of creation, maybe. And then come to stillness. If you want to use your fingers and gently tap at the top of your head, imagine how you can use your fingers and open up the shushumna or chimney, that part of you that is changeless. So there's a part of you that is changeless, that is always here. Um, and maybe you call that God, maybe you call that spirit or something else. Whatever you call it, the part of you that is changeless. So imagine how you are connecting to the part of you that is changeless. So, whatever happens to you in your life here on earth or to your physical body, that part of you is constant or changeless. So, at the very core of you, there's a part of you that never changes. So, allow the breath to travel through the core of you and explore the part of you that is changeless. So maybe inhale up, exhale down, inhale up, exhale down. And then place your hands on your knees and then starting the cat-cow motion. Inhale into your back bend, exhale and round your back. Inhale into your back bend, exhale and round. Your breath body and the physical body working together like a functioning team. And then back to neutral. And then look at your fingers. Blinking, bubbling stars all the way up. Clasp the hands, turn them over, straighten your elbows, breathe. Maybe breathe in through the nose and out through the mouth. If you want to, you can imagine that breath as on the inhale, you're creating, on the exhale, you're dissolving. Inhale, creation, exhale, dissolve. Inhale, create, exhale, dissolve. And then reach and reach and reach and reach, and then turn, open up the arms, look behind you. And then breathe. And maybe think about something in the past that you created. So think about something in the past that you created. It could be a meal, it could be a game, it could be a business, anything that you created. And then release, lift and lift and release the shoulders a few times, maybe roll them one way and then the other. Blinking, bubbling stars all the way up. Now clasp the hands that feels funny this time. Turn them over, straighten the elbows, and then breathe into the nose and out to the mouth. Inhale, create. Exhale, dissolve. Inhale, create. Exhale, dissolve. And then reach and reach and reach and reach. Turn, open up the arms, look behind you. And then think about something that dissolved. Something, it could be a meal that was finished, you ate it, or a business that you eventually closed. Anything that dissolved. And then release, lift and release a few times. And then roll the shoulders one way and then the other way. Okay, now arms up in cactus. So twisting is gaining perspective or widening your perspective. So um, yeah, so there's one part that we create and one part dissolve. So maybe if you study yourself, what do you prefer? Do you prefer to create things or do you prefer to dissolve things? What's your pattern? And then swim in that pattern, that's your habitual pattern. And then to create balance, we have to swim in the opposite direction. Okay, and then release. And then allowing these two parts of you to get together. So there's one part of you that gets together. One part of you who wants to create, and the other one who wants to dissolve. So what happens when the part of you who wants to create get together with the part of you who wants to dissolve? So what happens? Quick coffee, and then cross the midline. And then stay in connection, stay in connection. So stay there, breathe. And then release, try the other side. So stay in connection. So these two parts of you that kind of, maybe hopefully they're having a conversation. And then release. And then all four. And you can stay here. You can have one knee up or the other knee up. You can do a regular boat posture, or you can add some movement, whatever you need today. And then let's go to a wide and stable stance where we can explore these two options. So one part of you wants to create and the other one wants to dissolve. So create, dissolve, create, dissolve. And in between these two opposites, there are all kinds of variations. So maybe allow yourself to explore everything in between these two opposites. Okay. Now let's use let's use color and images. So let's start with create. So use your fingers. Imagine the color of creation. Put your fingers in the paint and then draw the image. To draw the image of creating something. Could be a painting, could be a picture painting. So creating something. What are you creating? And then release that image. And then go to the other side. And so dissolve. So give dissolve a color. Put your fingers in paint and then draw the image of dissolving. So something dissolves. What's the shape? What's the color? The image of dissolving something. And then release that image. Okay. And then jump the feet together. And now we're going to move to adding words. So spread the toes, dip the toes in ink, and now back to creation. So write the story. Write the story of creation or creating something. It could be a recipe for a dish or for a meal that you enjoy. It doesn't have to be something super big or fancy. The story of creation could be a recipe. And then step out wide, elbows to knees, fingertips together. Pit of the belly goes in and up, lengthen the spine. Imagine how one part of you is like growing out a tail or a root that's attaching to the ground, and another part of you is reaching up and forward into the universe. And maybe as that is reaching up, maybe this comes back into a big circle and then back into tailbone again. That's a possibility. Recreation. You can stay here, or if you want to, you can place your fingers on the floor and drop the head, allowing the head to be heavy. Maybe use your elbows to push the knees wide, to open up the hips. Maybe you feel some tightness in your lower back. And allowing the head to be heavy often helps. Maybe bring your awareness to your breathing. And then inhale, come back up. Place that right foot on the left knee. Use your fingers to open up the toes. And then gently guide the right knee out wide. And then slide the knees together. Whatever leg is on top, that arm goes under. Give yourself a hug. So as we're practicing, allow yourself to feel self-compassion and self-love. And then move from here to your version of eagle or seated eagle posture. Okay. So this eagle is creating, it's in the creating phase of its life. So what is this eagle creating? And what does it look like? How does it feel? Look at the feathers, the beak, the eyes, the way it moves. And then let that bird fly away, fly away, fly away. Okay, now let's go to dissolving. So spread your toes, dip your toes in ink, and then write the story of dissolving. So write the story of dissolving. So something that dissolved or ended in your life, write the story. Remember something that ended. Could be the season, a season. Could be uh, winter ended. Okay, step out wide, elbows to knees, fingertips together, lengthen the spine. Maybe imagine that circle that goes from the top of your head all around into the tailbone, up through the core of you. And that might be the part that is ever changeless. Everything else is changing except that part of you. Always here, always there, always everywhere. Okay, and then place the left hand on the floor, right hand on your right knee. Inhale to lengthen the spine. Exhale, look up towards the sky. Push into your hands, come a little deeper into your twist. And then bring that top arm up. Reach, reach, reach. And then that top hand comes down, thread the needle, find the opposite ankle, walk your fingers forward, and then look underneath your armpit. And you can always add a little bit of movement. Okay, inhale back, elbows to knees, fingertips together. Stay here for a moment. Recover. And then place the right hand on the floor, left hand on the left knee. Inhale to lengthen the spine. Exhale, look up towards the sky, push into your hands. Come a little deeper into that twist. And then the top arm comes up. Push and reach, push and reach. And then thread the needle, find the opposite ankle, walk your fingers forward, look underneath your armpit. Inhale, place the elbows on your knees, fingertips together. Rest and recover. Rest and recover. Okay, come all the way up. Left foot on your right knee. Use your fingers to open up the toes. Gently guide that left knee out. Seated pigeon. You can add some movement, maybe lean forward. So finding the places that are a little tight and then explore them with a curious mind. Okay, and then moving, so side the knees together, whatever leg is on top, that arm goes under, give yourself a hug. And whatever you need to hear, you can tell yourself that. So maybe I love you, I care about you, whatever it is that you need to hear, you can tell yourself that. And then moving to your version of seated eagle. Okay, this eagle is dissolving. This eagle is dissolving. So what does it look like? What does it look like? How does it move? Okay, and then let that bird fly away, fly away, fly away. Okay, back to wide and stable, blinking, bubbling stars all the way up. Clasp the hand, turn them over, straighten your elbows. Now imagine your arms as wings and your fingers as feathers. Now spread your wings out wide and then fly away, fly away, fly away. Now maybe you are that recreated eagle. So what do you see? How does it feel to fly around there? Palms comes up. Exhale, dive deep. Inhale, come up. Exhale, dive deep. And then bring the arms behind you. Hold on to opposite forearms and then stay there. Stay there. You can keep your eyes open or closed. You can add some movement if that's helpful to you. And then bring your awarenesses to a part of your physical body that feels a little tight. And then use your breath to care for and love that part of you. Release the right arm, bring it up and over. Bring your awareness to your breathing. And then release back. Rest and recover. Rest and recover. You can add a little bit of movement, maybe circles, one way or the other way. So you can add and deduct whatever you want. Okay, release the left arm, shake it out, bring it up and over. And then release, arms back behind you, rest and recover. Maybe add a little bit of movement. And then release. Okay, let's build some strength in in our legs. So bring the heels a little closer. Big inhale. Exhale, push into the earth and come up to standing. And then pick a number. I'll usually pick 10. So 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. And then rest and recover. And when you're ready, try again. Big inhale. Exhale, push into the earth and come up to standing. You can pick the same or a different number. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Rest and recover. Okay. Inhale. Exhale, push into the earth and come up to standing. Okay. Breath of joy. So starting with your arms out wide. 3 inhales and 1 exhale. Inhale 1, 2, 3. Exhale. Inhale 1, 2, 3. Exhale. Inhale 1, 2, 3. Exhale. And then let the arms go. Let the arms go. Letting the arms go. And then allowing the elbow and the knee to get together. Crossing the midline. And then finding position of power. Position of power. So feel your own strength. Feel your own strength. Place your hands on solar plexus and then connect to that power inside of you. Bend your knees, inhale, exhale and open up. Inhale, exhale, open up. One more time. Inhale, exhale, open up, and then stay open. Stay open. Hands on your hips. And then building external strength. And then lean and lift. So being patient, building that external community takes time and effort. And then the other way. And then eventually taking skillful action. Okay, let's celebrate that with 3 sun salutations. Here we go. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, up and over. Inhale, halfway. Exhale, fold. Inhale all the way back up. Exhale down the midline. That was 1. 2 more. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, up and over. Inhale, halfway. Exhale, fold. Inhale all the way back up. Exhale down the midline. Last one. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, up and over. Inhale, halfway. Exhale, fold. Inhale all the way back up. Exhale down the midline, and then stay there holding your own heart in between your hands with self-love and self-compassion. And release. Place your hands on your hips, and then without bending the knee, lifting the hip and moving or walking forward. Okay, big toes to touch, heels slightly apart, stepping back to warrior 1. Inhale to chair, exhale to Anjali Mudra, transfer the weight, right heel comes up. Take a big step back, find the earth, both hip bones are pointing forward. Engaging, or the core comes in and up. And then bring up your upper body. Oops. Take a moment. And then eventually add the arm for warrior one. Warrior one observes without judgment. Simply takes in the facts. Place your hands in your back pockets. Bring awareness to your heart space. What is your heart's deepest desire? And then allow yourself to move in that direction. Bend the top knee, bring it forward, give yourself a hug, hand on the outside, maybe straighten, maybe twist. And then slowly coming back to Tadasana. Okay, other side. Inhale to chair, exhale to Anjali Mudra. Transfer the weight, left heel comes off. Take a big step back. Build the foundation. Bring the upper body up. And then the arms. Hands in your back pockets. Bring your awareness to your heart space. And then transferring your weight forward, moving into warrior three. Bend the top knee, bring it forward. Give yourself a hug. Hand on the outside. Maybe straighten, maybe twist. And then slowly coming back to Tadasana. Okay, stepping back to warrior two. Inhale to chair, exhale to Anjali Mudra, transfer the weight, right heel comes off. Take a big step back, open up the pelvic half, finding warrior two. One arm in the past, the other one in the future. Flip the front hand, reverse the warrior. And then move from the past to plan for the future. Planning for the future. Where would you like to go? Where are you heading? And then back to the present moment. What is possible right now? What can you do right now? Hands on your hips, straighten the front knee, release the hand into Trikonasana. So what kind of blinking, bubbling star are you? What kind of blinking, bubbling star are you? Rebend that front knee back to warrior two. Place the hands on the chair. And then transfer the weight moving into Ardha Chandrasana, half moon posture. Bend the top knee. Use the chair for support. Place that right foot on the left knee for standing pigeon. And then back to Tadasana. Okay, inhale to chair, exhale to Anjali Mudra, transfer the weight. Left heel comes off. Take a big step back. Open up the pelvic half. One arm in the past, the other one in the future. Flip the front hand, reverse the warrior. So learning from the past. What did we learn about creation and dissolvement from the past? And with that wisdom, how can we prepare better for the future? How can we prepare for the future? Inhale, come back up, finding warrior two, the present moment. What is possible right now? What is possible today? Hands on your hips, straighten the front knee, release the hand down for Trikonasana. And then rebend that knee, come back up to warrior two. Place the hands on the chair. And then moving into Ardha Chandrasana. Bend the top knee. Place that foot on the knee, using the chair for support. And then back to Tadasana. Okay, so imagine a mountain. Wide, stable, strong mountain, but not forever. So even a mountain is constantly changing, except the core. So at the core of the mountain, imagine something that's changeless, that's always there. Could be God, your spirit, whatever you want to call it. Something that's always there, something that's permanent. And through that channel, from the earth, through that channel, something comes up. Something is growing, growing, growing. It breaks the surface, and then you create something. You get to create something. It could be a tree. It could be a tree. And the tree might last for a year, for 50 years, for 300 years. But eventually, the tree is gonna dissolve back to core. Okay, let's try the other side. So imagine this the mountain. It seems that it's going to be there forever, but it's not going to be there forever. Even a mountain is changing, except the inner part. So there's a part of the mountain that's changeless, permanent. And inside of that, something is growing, and you get to create something new, something different. Could be the same tree, or it could be ooh, a different species. And this tree might live for 1 year, 5 years, 25 years, 100 years. But eventually, this tree is also going to dissolve back to core. Okay, now place your hands on the chair, step back for plank posture. So the shoulders are right over my hands. And then use your feet to move back and forth. And then push your hips back for a version of down dog, bending one knee, bending the other, bending both. And then lift your right foot up, bend the knee. Breathe. And then bring that knee to elbow. Knee to elbow, back up. Knee to the other elbow, back up. And knee to middle. And then back to down dog. Okay, lift the left foot up. Bend the knee. Stay here. And then knee to elbow. Back up. knee to the other elbow, back up, and knee to center, back up, and then back to down dog. And then eventually release the knees down. And then start with the color of creation. What is the color of creation to you? So take your thumb, draw a big circle, give the heel a little dot. Okay, and then the color of dissolving. So take your other thumb, big circle. And then mix the two colors. Two big circles. Place your hands in your back pocket for camel posture. If you want to, bring your awareness to your heart space. What is your heart's deepest desire? And then untuck the toes and come into child's posture. Inhale, come back up. Clasp the hands, create that support. Tuck your toes, lean in, and come up to dolphin posture. And here you can bend one knee, bend the other. You can lift one leg if you want to. Maybe lift the other. Maybe turning the hip or the knee. And then eventually bending the knees and coming back up to standing. Okay, so I'm going to read the same poem again and see what we hear this time. So this is by Mahatma Gandhi, and it's called In the Midst of Darkness. I do dimly perceive that whilst everything around me is ever changing, ever dying, there is underlying all that change a living power that is changeless, that holds all together, that creates, dissolves, and recreates. That informing power or spirit is God. And since nothing else that I see merely through the senses can or will persist, He alone is. And is this power benevolent or malevolent? I see it as purely benevolent. For I can see that in the midst of death, life persists. In the midst of untruth, truth persists. In the midst of darkness, light persists. Hence, I gather that God is life, true light. He is love. He is the supreme good. Okay, we have about 7 minutes. So find your seat, sit up tall, bring awareness to your breathing. And then here we go. Wiggle your fingers, wiggle your toes, move your head from side to side. Take a deep breath in, let it go. Bring your hands to Anjali Mudra, holding your own heart in between your hands with self-love and self-compassion. If you want to, gently bow your head in gratitude for this practice, thousands of years old. Thank your inner guides, past, present, and future teachers, and all the people that are joining you on this journey. Open your eyes, raise your gaze, and thank you so much for practicing together this morning. Namaste.